12-hour day.
I might debate you on that point. Interesting love triangle there in that prison cell, you know?
Moving on, this game, the draft.
Yes, okay, great. Let's talk about it. I mean, what a result. What a result for, I mean, we knew that these were two of the favorites of probably for all of play-ins, but of course in this group. But the expectation still for most people was that RNG should go undefeated. That is the expectation, and DRX, they dashed those plans in an instant.
You know who else I think had that expectation?
Whom?
RNG.
Yeah.
When they're like,
they did.
Why don't we just pick Vi when no one else picks it? Yeah, let's Vi Jax right away. Okay. Why don't we pick like all his? Like, I think that'll work.
Yeah, like technically, obviously LeBlanc and Nyla are not always melee champs, but you have to get very close range to make these things work. They're mostly about outplays and assassinations and big moments, and for a while it was looking pretty good. They were dumpstering up in the top side. Kingdom was getting abused. Breathe was looking great. Wei was making his life a living hell. And for a while, I was like, wow, yeah, this is the RNG everyone was expecting. And you can see how big of a gold lead they had for that top side of the map.
Yeah, 2-0-1 Jax early on. And a Vi who's off to the races. Granted, I agree with you, it's kind of a weird pick of Vi when you consider the entire team comp that you're playing into, because I think you see the difficulty when we get to the team fight stages of this game, where Vi, as we know, can go in and can't really come out. And when you're playing against something like a Maokai, a Rel, you've all this CC. You go in and instantly you become useless because Tristana will hop away, or the Akali goes into a Shroud, and you don't really have that one-shot capability anymore.
Yeah, and I want to be balanced here. This was a very fun game.
Oh, it was great.
And DRX played well. Deft was amazing in this one. I still don't think that changes the fact this was an ego draft by RNG, thinking they could just style on them. And then fights like this where you're noticing, you know, the range of Deft really comes in huge.
Yeah, the fact that Deft had to pilot around all these dangerous threats that we've identified, you know, yes, it is an ego draft, but you're also playing an incredible team. And so the fact that Deft never got popped early in fights was like the most important thing this entire game. I think Pyosik had a great game on the Maokai, providing that peeling for him the entire time, locking down key targets. You also had some great engages by Beryl on that Rel pick, locking down this short-range team. But it was really the Deft show here. I think he ended with 9 kills at the end of it, just resetting through team fights over and over again.
Racking them up on that Tristana. I like to call it on Pyosik too, because once you come down to the final team fight as well around Hextech Drake's Soul, right? Gets the smite secure. And sometimes that's what you need, right? Who knows if the smite had gone the other way and the Hextech Soul hops on over to RNG's side, if the fight would have turned out differently. So every member on DRX stepping up in their own way here to make sure that they would get the win.
Yeah, and I mean, steal for steal, right?
I was about to say, yeah.
There was a Baron steal that kept RNG in this game.
From Xiaohu, yeah.
From Xiaohu with stealing it with LeBlanc, and then able to come back and secure the Hextech Soul. My crystal ball pick for most taken, Drake. Looked pretty good this game.
There were
like
five of them because RNG had 1, and then DRX got 4. So
I'm like so weirdly invested in having the right pick for the most taken.
I told you it's going to be either Mountain or Hextech because they're the most advantageous Drakes. So anytime they're up, people are actually going to fight for them and go for them.
Also,